Hello everyone, and welcome to another Arknights video. Today's video, where do we even begin? So, we're the last day of the ATO event. Due to just what I'm focusing on and what I'm doing and the amount of time I have to do so, I'm not putting a lot of effort into Arknights. I could do all sorts of things for OG Arknights, but again, I'm focusing on other things that, I'm gonna be brutally honest, I don't really care about trying to make sure I do what I usually do for Arknights. It's just the way it is. So with that in mind, the main goal is to complete it. And yeah, that's all I really have to say. My main goal is to complete it. Complete the event, get all the medals, and to be done. I don't know how it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a lot easier than the Masses Travels, for sure. Aside from that, a lot of shit, like, I will say this, I don't know what is with Yostar pushing events out, but it's getting to the point where it's like, there's too much going on for it to warrant, you know, like, again, Arknights Infield's out right now. Just that alone is like, why are you pushing so many events out? Seriously. Like, most people are still not even close to being done, at least from my experience playing Arknights Infield, and not always focusing on Arknights Infield. I have yet to really deal with the second boss, and there's so much going on with Arknights Infield as well. The fact that the CN side is taking a huge-ass break, by the way. Usually each year they have a New Year's CN stream. They have not done that at all and said, hey, here's a Minos event, fuck off for the next couple of months. Is essentially what it feels like when it comes to the CN version right now. Just because there's so, like, all the attention right now is Infield. Let's just be brutally honest. All the attention right now is Infield. The fact that Yostar is really hammering down on all these event releases, it's annoying as hell. Because, like, all of these events I'm not going to really do. Like, this dual channel I probably won't touch again. I didn't do the last version. I believe the dual channel is permanent, or it's the other one that's permanent. I'm not certain. Realistically, I don't know which one's permanent, which one is not permanent. I think it's the holographic combat matrix that is permanent and the other one isn't. I have yet to really touch this. Yes, I don't really care. I don't want to. I don't care. I'm sorry. It's just the way it is. Right now, I'm not too worried about it. I will probably touch it in the near future since it's permanent, not weekly or a limited time thing like CC4. I did everything of CC4, by the way, like I did for CC3, and I think CC2 was the last one where I did videos on. CC3 and CC4 here, I did not. Poor timings for both of them. It's just the way it is. The last one was because I wasn't really able to do any recordings. And then this time, it's the fact that, there's so much going on that it's like, I'm not that interested in trying to do any content for CC. And that is right now kind of like the general gist for a lot of players. It's just like, they're pushing so much out that it's really hard to focus on all of it. And for me, who's kind of just being strained out like a shredded cheese right now, I'm sorry, I'm gonna do what I can, what I feel like I want to do, and that's it. And talking about CC4 here, some of these risks were doublish. I did max risk. Aside from, of course, the daily stage, but I think, eventually do every single risk variant, unless I'm mistaken. Bewitched Barnyard was the hardest, the most trickiest, the one that I stalled for like 30 plus minutes, slowly getting the stupid thing all the way over here, and that's just how the layout of the map was. This is probably the worst map of the daily stages. Pretty much giving past daily stages for past CCs a run for their money. This one is actually genuinely difficult to master. Insanity. The biggest issue was the fact of the spamming of course, trying to deal with the bloodborne spawns, and then these two fuckers. The Fluxcasters, which always was a pain, because they don't respawn at a certain point, they respawn where they died at. And then you have these fuckers that easily power up and easily just max out and easily destroy rather quickly. Especially when you're trying to deal with the bloodborne spawns. These two synergize so well that these are worse than most bosses released in Arknights. My personal opinion. I've always hated these guys from episode 13. So, the boss itself wasn't really much of a threat. Let's just be brutally honest. It really is just these three in combination. These guys are just an annoyance because they stall out the possibility of using witchcraft really early on, which I would have done, but that wasn't the case, so 30 plus minutes of stalling. You're welcome. That's essentially how it felt. And there's so much that trying to do like ultra big synergy strats just didn't really felt like it worked. And it pretty much just ended up being greedy use with something that can burst damage the bone sword guys, and yeah, pretty much just stalling out forever while taking these guys out. After you kill everything of these guys, and a way to stall out the Fluxcasters and the endless swarm of blood armors with the Ursula, then you can finally start using the Witchcraft 2 Precision Bomb to stop the infinite respawning of the Bloodborne spawns. Just because of how stats are and just how the map is. On top of the fact that they add in crossbows, which greatly limits the placement of where you could do your operators. This one mechanic alone greatly changed how to handle the map. If they didn't have the crossbows firing every so often, it'd be a lot less of a threat to set up, and it'd be a lot easier to get things rolling. But that wasn't the case. So, yeah. I did mess with it a little bit for friend support. So yeah. Anyway. Showcase that, yeah, I mean, I don't think there's any much else to note after that point. And I believe that's it. I mean, there's other stuff to do. The honey-dew shenanigans ends after a certain point. Again, why is it not permanent? I'm not gonna care about this at all. Because I'm just gonna leave it to the side and focus on other things. Again, if there was nothing to do, there was no infield, and I was just developing on the side, I would probably be doing every single event in Arknights. Those two things, developing on the side and doing everything for Arknights, is not what's happening right now because there's so much shit going on in the gaming sphere. Now, at least you would have something to do right now in terms of gaming. Guaranteed. If you're not, you're too selective for your games. That's all I gotta say. Like, at the very end of this month, you have Resident Evil 9 as well. I have a stupid-ass backlog. And I could go on and on and on and talking about what I'm doing that isn't at this point just Enfield and Minecraft with friends. Anyway. Enough of me ranting to talk about how fucking busy I have been doing stuff. And doing things. This will change for the good and bad, on top of the fact that my schedule is going to change here when it comes to the next month anyway, so it's not like this is going to be how things will be. It's still up in the air what will end up happening. Now, with all that said, let's talk about the ATO event real quickly. Of course, if you have not seen, I went through both the first and the second stages with 4 stars and 5 stars. Not all of it was done with 4 stars and 5 stars. The X-state is possible without 6 stars, but very specific operators to use, and specific strategies are used that those set of operators or strategies I won't be able to do because I either don't have the character built or don't have the character. It's more so I don't have the character built, more so than I don't have the character. Anyway, so let's kind of quickly run down the minigame. I got all the rewards, day 23. After a certain point, I can elaborate, but I'm already speaking so much, yapping so much for the first episode of the secret stages that I could go over, but I'm not. Only 23 days. I have still so much idle gossip I could use, but it would be pointless. And this is not based off of the strategy, because the strategy is at the very beginning you go for interest. I do not go for interest. I always go for trust, and then middle manage trust with interest. That's how I went about it. Which, to me, is not what people have suggested for the minigame. Or for what I've seen when this event first came out. Anyway. When it comes to the clears of the secret stages, I'm going to go about it as... I'm not going to spend too long with it. It is the last day, but I will be finishing all the stages and challenge mode without a doubt. So if I get stuck, I will be using 6 stars if it takes too long to complete it. And a lot of the time, I cut out a lot of clears or failures. I say clears, but it's more like attempts at clears / failures. A lot of the time, these recordings end up being 5+ hours long. Just to kind of get an idea that it takes a hot minute, and unlike most people who are just mainly focusing on Arknights, doing these specific clears and getting them through and finishing them, I don't have the time to focus on that, and I'm choosing not to because I do like Arknights. I think Arknights is fun, but I want to do other things as well. Variety is the spice of life after all. And that is something to take into consideration in your own life. You don't always have to do a single game and do everything and be the best. You don't have to. For a guy, it's like almost a natural inclination to do so. But in reality, just have fun at the end of the day because there are more important things in life than trying to be good at it. No hate, it's just the truth. The needed truth to be at least here every so often, regardless if you follow it or not. Anyway, aside from some random-ass life advice out of the fucking nowhere, let's get into the secret stages. I don't believe there's going to be Annihilation, because I don't see Annihilation here, so it's just going to be the 4th stage, because I've seen the medals already, so... Anyway. I sort of saw YouTube thumbnails, so some of the stages look easy. I don't know how bad or good this is going to be, so it's going to be up in the air. Overall, when it comes to the event mechanic, excuse me, is sort of difficult, but not to the point of being overtly difficult. Fair, I would say. The boss, I would say, is way too tanky for a boss, but that's the intention based off the mechanics of the boss, and I just feel like it's kind of pretty much a DPS race at the end of the day, unless you have ways to slow down, lure, fear, whatever, to help out against that type of thing. And I think there's a way to permanently stall, but it's not with Tragodia. I know I tend to forget a certain operator exists. I can't think of a name right now, but the S2 that consistently does fear. Good placement, you'd be able to consistently stall out the boss with like a Manticore, Ethan combo. And then maybe have Mystima if you still don't have enough SP regen to continuously use it to fear the boss away. Maybe a lot less than that, maybe Ethan every so often, I don't know. Yeah, maybe a lot more controlled slowdown would probably be better. So technically I would probably go with, thinking about it now, from my own experiences with Lure and Fear, probably would be better to go with, Angelina S3 to slow down, or S2. Well, S2 would be better. And then cycle between the two, maybe add something else for slow down. Depends on the scenario, maybe both set character and Godia could work together wonders with Fear and Lure. At this point, I'm just theory guessing of how you can permanently stall out the boss. I don't think it's impossible, it's just a lot more selective 6 stars you have to use. And you can also push the boss in the hole, which is always a ha-ha-ha moment, but I never really do that. Aside from one specific boss that I used it for farming purposes. That is the different specific thing in general. And that's like a very niche specific thing I did for that boss. It was the only time I did, and it was not even because of the hole, it was the water. And I'm talking about the doggo old man sailor boss. I can't think of his name right now. From Dulcimus. Anyway, enough of me yapping. Let's actually get into this. What in the hell am I looking at? So I'm assuming it always goes through here. So here and here would be your stopping points. Well, then again, this is here, so not really, because they can go through here. That's not really the case. Unless I don't know where enemies would go. Let me change the operators around here. Okay, first of all, who's this to? I could go this way. There's a lot of operators I probably should be working on. I'm just nowhere near doing that. I'm using lava. You know what? I might as well try to use this card. This is just like, okay, this is like a niche scenario where I could use specific niche operators to handle the issue.
Good scenery here, Doctor. Gather around, guys.
We'll simply have differing viewpoints. No more.
Beginning collection of battlefield information. Whew, almost. I have to get serious now. Solid positioning.
Mic check successful.
If you're still hesitating, I can give some advice.
Gathering in 3 seconds.
If you're still hesitating, the wind blows through. The leaves tell stories of those who sleep. I have to get serious now. 視界良好。このリズムは今にぴったり。弓の準備はできてるよ。
We could probably do that again over here.
Hark! The thunder rumbles! Just try me!
By your order. Be careful not to fall from here, everyone.
I could probably... Oh, I didn't even realize she was on a timer. Excuse me, goes to show.
Hark! The thunder rumbles! In place.
Can you do it?
By your order.
I come from the
一气白雷正法，凤冠方圆三化。
By your order. Be careful not to fall from here, everyone.
Mic check successful. Hostile in my sights. Ready when you are.
Come on, Sherry, quasi tesoro.
Good position with Block Blonde.
Enforcing. Be careful not to fall from here, everyone.
Please, I care not for valueless ones.
Missile covering. You'll have to try harder than that. Revital. Gathering intel. Stay out of sight.
Okay. That's perfectly fine. Not too bad. Different way to handle the stage, but gets the job through.
Gathering intel.
Can you do it?
Probably a better healer, but aside from that, like, I would say pretty good scenario.
ゼロの大勝利だね。ドクター、もしあの時も君がいたら、結果は変わってたかな。
Doton masters move quicker. Okay.
わかりました。ドクターもご一緒されますか？
At this point, I really do not know what would be best, because I'm trying to figure out ways I can
This will be
handle the enemy doing damage, trying to stop them from advancing.
Doctor? Oh, almost all
And
done.
it feels like at this point in time, I am missing a lot of arts damage, or just AoE damage in general.
ついたで。視界良好、狙いはバッチリ。Gather around, guys.
Coffer Cover me. Gathering intent, resetting.
Where the landscape is, the wind blows through. The leaves tell stories of those who sleep.
あんなんですか？聞いてます、聞いてます。
Ready when you are.
Solid positioning.
As you command. 一起白雷正法，纵贯方圆三化。
あんなんですか？聞いてます、聞いてますよ。
When these guys wake up, I should be using Spectre.
Just try me. Come on, scegli quasi tesoro. As you command, in place. The essence of Leifa is my will becoming one with this great land.
I come from the depths of the ocean. Humbly return to the abyss. Humbly awaiting your command.
私に任せて、ノリノリの曲でいくよ。
You'll have to try harder than that.
新しいそう、そんなもんうちには聞かへんし。あんたれ。
Okay, way better use case.
Hark! The thunder rumbles. Go for me. Stay close. It may be done. It may be done. Essence of Leifa. Is my will becoming one with this great land.
はい、任せてください。
Get behind.
ここは通さへんで。
Revival. I'm with you.
Okay, we've managed to actually
It
do
may
it.
be done.
A bit of shenanigans, a bit of crowd control, a bit of glitz with Spectre. There we go.
No matter how difficult the mission, we can handle it as long
The
as
biggest
we
issue was the futon arts damage because there's so many of them, and they hit like a truck with a lot of them attacking you. Just at that one point of the map, there's so many enemies because they're faster. They come out faster. They're in there with all those other enemies. But with the Spectre, better use case of Spectre was able to handle and take out the at least 3, maybe the 4 on the right side, which greatly helped. Greatly helped.